All right, guys, things are going to be getting spicy. We are going to be having the first game between the All Blacks and France this weekend, Saturday, 5th of July. I think UK time, it's around 8 a.m. in the morning. So I hope you guys are early risers. I'm going to be up from about 5 anyway. So I'm going to have my coffee. I'm going to, get my bits, get my notes ready because this is going to be an all out smasher of a game. I'm telling you this now. Absolute smasher of a game. First up, we all know the top 14 is a long, grueling season. So, as always, the French are not going to be sending their big names, their big hitters, because a lot of them, they just finished top 14. A majority of them play for Toulouse or Bordeaux. So, I mean, we saw stars like Mia Fowl, Roman Intimac, who ultimately ended up getting injured. That was a big blow for for France. But hey, they're going to be given a bit of time. He's going to have a little bit of time to rest, get everything ready for later on in the year. So it's actually quite good that he's being given a bit of rest. But, a lot of them have had an incredibly tough season. Bordeaux ended up not only playing in the finals for the top 14, they ended up playing in the Champions and winning the Champions Cup as well. So, they've had a very, very long season. But the All Blacks, their seasons are crazy as well. Not to say anything about, playing their players, because obviously the All Blacks are going to be playing a heavy, heavy squad. No doubt they are playing a heavy, heavy squad. So I wanted to break down in this video a couple statistics, look into both teams, and I want to hear what your thoughts are on this. And I want to get your prediction as to who's going to win, because this is going to be very divided. And I know I'm going to get a lot of smack by if I choose for the French to win, the All Blacks, or if it's from the All Blacks, I'm going to get smacked from the French. Both are heavy, heavy nations when it comes, and they got a big history, a very big history in terms of rugby. So, yeah, I think this one is a very, very difficult one. I think at points I really need to choose my words carefully at points. So I'm going to try and navigate it as best as possible. So first up, the French and the All Blacks have a big, big history. I believe the first ever French test was 1906, and this is kind of where everything started. Um, so there's always been a big battle between both sides. Both they both understand, what it means to play each other. Obviously, Galtier is thinking 5, 10 years in advance. He's thinking to protect his players as any good head coach should. So he's not taking this too seriously. He's going to use it as a platform for a lot of his younger players to develop, to help them on their way, but also to give a lot more of the experienced players a lot more time, whilst protecting all of the key players in their mid to late 20s, in their primes, like your Roman and Tamak, your Ramos, and so on. Biel Biarre, Damien Penaud, Barassi, Mofana, Malvaca, Gross, Kroos, you know, all of these elite level talents. So they are going to be protecting them, right? So first up, one of the big points for me is the David Gallagher. I always get confused between David Gallagher. It's David Gallaher. David, Dave Gallaher Trophy. Um, I think this one originally awarded since around 2000 to the owner of the France and New Zealand Test, and I believe that was from the first All Blacks captain that ended up dying in I think it's World War I. But I digress. This is a big trophy because obviously New Zealand have dominated it for many, many, many years, except for the last two meetings. Right now, this award is awarded to the winner of France versus New Zealand. And the last two attempts have come from France. Yeah. That's right. France have actually done pretty well, and they actually have a pretty good streak over New Zealand recently, beating them three times out of the last five test matches, and I actually think they're on a three-match test run. So it's never been a game where it's never been a game where the French have outshone the All Blacks, but it's always a very very difficult game that there's always a lot of pressure on them. I mean, we look at the head-to-heads, right? So they've played 64 games. The All Blacks have won 48, lost 15, and they've drawn once. Um, Honestly, when you think of New Zealand, the powerhouses that they are, the monsters that they are, and then you look at that run, um, where you had Richie McCaw and you had all of those monsters where they were practically unbeatable. They had something ridiculous, like it was like a 95, 90, like a 94, 95% win rate, winning two World Cups. And it's just like, okay, this team was amazing. It was practically unbeatable. Are they the quality that they were back then? No. I do feel that they have slightly gone off track. They do not have the same amount of quality player for player and depth. Don't get me wrong. The All Blacks have ridiculous depth, but I'm talking about that side. There aren't many sides in world rugby that come even close to sniffing the talent and the ability that they had back then. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting because we're going to be seeing New Zealand play with that possession based play. They are, they have that flair. They love the ability to be unpredictable. But when we look at their structured attack, dominant set pieces, and the one thing is that fullback running options. He's always given a lot. He's given space. He's given time. A lot of the players are there. How to say it? They work, right? They are hard workers. They all willing to to throw up on the pitch to get that extra run in, to get that extra tackle in. Um, but one thing France so good at is playing on that counter offensive. They thrive on play, just as the All Blacks. They thrive on that unpredictability factor, right, where anything can happen. And I think we are going to be seeing players like Atisogbe, who had a brilliant Six Nations, cause a lot of problems. You have Leo Barre as well, Nolan Lagarek, playmakers, right? Absolute playmakers that can cause a lot of problems. But then you also have, you know, um, a lot of, how should we say, experienced players set um, throughout the squad to help balance things out. Whether like it's Gael Ficou, um, he's someone that can really, really bring together, a team, a squad, but also to put things in perspective for the younger kids. We saw how they played up against England. We saw that second half rush, which ultimately ended France getting the win, and deservedly so, considering that second half performance. But yeah, it, I think if France were to win and get another win over New Zealand, it would kind of assert that dominance that France have had recently. We've all seen the rise of French rugby, what it's done to the world, what top 14 rugby means to the world, and the elite level talent that is being played, that is playing there. It's very much a case of, yes, France are technically playing a B team, but the quality of talent that they are bringing to New Zealand is not that of what you would call a B team, right? To a lot of teams, that would be classified as an A team, or not A team, a first team. That is what you would call a top level side, a side that is able to compete on many different levels. But when you take in consideration the quality of your Intimac, Ramos, Malvaca, Malfana, Kroos, Gross, Boudahan, BRBA, Damien Penaud, like when you're comparing the quality of them and then saying, oh, you're bringing a B team. No, they are actually bringing a proper team. It's just that they are not them, right? They are not crazy, you know, prodigy players. There's a lot of talent there. Then you look at the All Black side. Oh my word! Like what? What talent after talent? You got the Barretts. You got like when it comes to like your Artie Surveyors, your Geordie Barrett, Scott Barrett. And then you just look at this. You just look at the side and think there's a reason why they are number two. Yes, they are 2 points behind the Springboks, but man, this New Zealand side is scary. This New Zealand side is coming with heavy hitters, and they got a lot of good backup as well, if anything is to happen. So I think this is going to be a very good game. I think this is going to be a very hard fought game, but I do feel player for player, the All Blacks take the biscuit. I feel the All Blacks are going to win, and I think they're going to win the entire tour. Um, I cannot see France beating the All Blacks. However, I would love to be proven wrong. But I just cannot see, although they have amazing talent, I cannot see this potential side beat the All Blacks. Player for player, quality. You look at how a lot of these players have played. A lot of them play with each other, against each other as well. And they've been together for a little while. I just feel the All Blacks are going to be just that little bit more composed, a little bit more structured. Their defensive line is going to be very difficult to break down. And I think the All Blacks are going to make them suffer. So I am predicting a 15-point win to the All Blacks to come through the dominant start to the first. I do feel that the All Blacks are going to dominate from word one. France are going to be putting up a very, very good fight. But I just feel the All Blacks are going to have too much. This strength squad that is potentially going to be playing up against this France side, I feel there's too much experience, too much quality in the front pack, too much quality in terms of just the forwards in general, and that flair play from the back three of New Zealand, or whichever back three you want to be playing. They just have so much versatility. They are able to move the ball and shift the ball so quickly. So this is going to be a very intense, fast-paced game. And we look at the game between France 23 and England 23. They faltered, right? It was only because of a late second half surge that allowed France to come back into the squad and really start putting that pressure on England. The All Blacks are not going to give you that last minute surge. This is where they're going to be shutting up shop, and they're going to be making you wish that you were just sitting down with a glass of water. This is where they're going to be tightening up. They're going to be putting a lot more pressure. They're going to suffocate your 9 and your 10, and they're going to try and restrict as much movement as possible. So I'm giving the All Blacks to win by 15 points. The French, please don't hate me. Um, and I want to hear what your thoughts are in the comment section below. What do you think? Who do you think is going to win? What's your score prediction? So, as always, please like and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.